I think that like Gragas jungle, with the possible exception of being in the ADC or in the ADC role, essentially, like it's one of his weaker roles, I would say. So
I think like the thing is with Gragas, right, is that like, you can pick him super early in a draft, and there will be like, we do not know where he's going to get played. Can be played support, can be played Baron lane, jungle. It's like the perfect flex, but you can even play mid if you want. Like if you're really feeling crazy, go mid. It'll work too.
Well, I would say
they did nerf him at some time. Like he's still so relevant, and it's so good if you want to surprise and leave your enemies in like in a doubtful mindset, and they're like, oh, how are they going to play this? How do we counter this early game Gragas pick? Well, you do not know, because you just do not know in which composition, in which role he's going to go. So I think Gragas in an early draft actually makes a lot of sense, just to kind of surprise your enemies.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that explains why he ended up being in the jungle, because they just kind of rounded up the rest of the composition in order to counter the opposing composition. So I don't know.
He's alive. He's moving. Gragas is here. We can actually go with the game
now. Oh, no. I think it was 16 bits jungle that disconnected.
Was it? Was it? I don't know, dude. I'm confused. I don't know, man. My brain is issues. It's fine. It's cool. Oh, 16-bit jungle. Okay, so I'm dumb. You guys can send a chat. Okay, Maxman. Haha. Oh. With that said, though, talking about something not happening. That is Jana face check in the bush and regretting that decision. At least the stun was not procced. Otherwise, that could have been a completely different ballgame.
I was about to use, the same word that you use when you're talking about yourself, talking about dumb things. But you went with the more PC version, not PC, but the more sensitive version.
Friendly.
No. Oh, dumb is family friendly. It's just, you're more sensitive to the feelings of Jana here. But yeah, it wasn't the smartest decision to just hi guys.
Well, family friendly on here, guys. Don't worry. AssassinDave, family friendly channel. We all know and love it. But it's still composition. We had time to talk about it quite a fair decent bit here, but especially I'm looking at the Baron lane. We're going to have that Darius matchup coming on through versus Camille. That last time Camille won that one pretty dominantly once she hit level 5. So for this early game stage, she's got to take it slow, take it chill. And hopefully once she hits level 5, Darius will be in a world of trouble.
Yeah. The thing is, she's already pushing in that lane, as you can see there on your minimap. So, or sorry, she's getting pushed back. I'm confused here. My brain is also fried just for the moment. I'm actually kind of confused that 16-bit didn't switch the lanes. I mean, it's not maybe the best idea, but I just feel like you got to mix up something. And they're the ones that we mentioned earlier who were kind of the pioneers of that strategy. Or, I mean, obviously it's a strategy that comes from League way back in the day, but they were the first ones to show us in our tournament a few weeks ago that kind of strategy.
Yeah, the first team to bring it to mobile and make it, like, I guess, more popular in a way. That's good. But still, Brawl, I'm going to go for the push. Going to soak up a bit of damage with that shield. Not too much of an issue. He does suffer some pretty big damage himself, unfortunately. But seem like everyone's going to be coming towards that scuttle position in the river. Going to try and contest it. Take it for themselves. Should be done pretty easy. As Lee Sin is committing to it. I mean, they're low HP. They just can't take that fight. And they're fully committing. They're getting locked into that Dragon Pit. Ooh. And they're going to have to flash away. But still, Brawl will go down. And the first blood will indeed go the way of 16-bit.
Brom's like, worth. I got the Rift Scuttler.
Worth, dude. I got it.
The funny thing is, you saw 4 members from each side going for the Rift Scuttler. That is how important that vision is, because it's just so annoying having to go blind into a potential dragon fight. You can see the heavy commitment from the Lee Sin. They don't actually get it in the end. It goes over to DR, but because Braum is out of position, even with the flash over the wall, he's unable to, or excuse me, probably was his dash, excuse me. Probably was not the flash, but he still gets taken out.
I mean, the way they were pushing it too, like they were pushing him towards the wall on the side of the Dragon Pit, and that made the entire team of DR Esports to like basically split away from each other, and it was forcing 2 players into the pit, minimum using flashes, potentially picking up kills, which they did pick up 1 frag at the end of the day. So at the end, I think there was a really good push coming out from 16-bit, really using the map terrain to their advantage to split away naturally the opposing side of DR Esports. But now I want to see a little bit more. 1 kill, sure, that's great. That's a lot better than how they were doing on game 1, but is that all they can do, or can they try and get a little bit more? Because game 1, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed by 16-bit when I was getting hyped up by them, but I want to see what they can do in their normal games.
They had 9 deaths before they got their first kill last time.
Yeah, it was 9-0.
This is a bit better, I would say. No. I mean, I feel like this game could snowball in either direction, so getting those early kills is actually pretty important here, right? Because if you're snowballing, if you fall behind against a Zed, for instance, you just get completely deleted. If you start getting ahead with the Orianna and the Misfortune, you can really start pumping out the damage. It's hard to kind of combat that as DR. So I feel like it's a very snowbally game, and whoever gets these early kills is going to matter quite a bit.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing also we've got level 6 currently on the Camille. She can't take the fight anymore because she has low HP, but still, this is the point in time that when she goes back and shop, regens up, she should be able to contest in some way, shape, or form. And now Drake is up, spawned for the last few seconds now, and I think that here, especially Brom, if you could get a ward on it, that would be big, because I cannot see the Lee Sin. He was there earlier. So I would like to see if they can transcout the information, as they do indeed get it. They were just using a blanket of misinformation to get the Drake. Now they are going to get a shield every few seconds, which is going to make them a lot more reliable when it comes down to team fights.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to guard against people like Camille and Zed, who really they just want to burst you down, right? I mean, Camille doesn't necessarily burst you down, but she holds you down. She wants to get that pick. She relies on that pick. Same thing goes with Zed. He goes in there, pops his ult, tries to get the kill very, very quickly. So getting that extra shield, it might not seem like a whole lot, but it could definitely make a difference in these team fights.
That could indeed be the case. So far, anyways, I'd love to have to be able to see exactly how much gold they got, because I think that currently we're going to have a 16-bit potentially being pretty high up in terms of gold. I'm expecting like a nice 2k, 3k gold lead currently, which is still going to be something rather significant. Also off the bat of that first blood and the Drake they were able to secure for themselves. And now we're starting to see DR Esports starting to do a little bit more team-wide rotation. You can see mid lane, the Zed's already shifting up top there. Wiz also the Gragas to try and make it 3v2. And unfortunately, Darius was just not ready. Ultimate after ultimate, but no, Lee Sin was actually in the bush, and the ultimate comes on through. Camille will be able to get the nice, sweet honey fruit, so that's going to be able to res up and keep her alive from the bleeding of the Darius, as Lee Sin tried his best, but unfortunately, that was just a fight fully going in favor of DR Esports. Good macro rotation. The team play was on point there.
Yeah, you just saw how powerful DR Esports comp, or at least how it's supposed to work, right? Just the single target, the single target's executions are exactly what they excel in. And having the Zed and having the Camille there to just finish people off is just, there's nothing really you can do about it if someone's split off from the team.
Yeah, I mean, just some of the easiest shot calling you could do is like, that target, kill him. Easy. Then you just let everyone do their thing and just like, yes, he dead. Good. We did our thing. So they did exactly that. They had a good map-wide rotation. Camille, a little bit stranded, though. They are going to be going for the Herald once again, trying to use blank elf information, but they shall not allow that to happen twice in a row. Potentially the root, not going to connect for the Jhin, unfortunately. Gospel going to have to retreat back for his team. Camille taking some severe damage while Zed just split pushing. This is a fight like for Herald. It is just not worth it. Let Zed push, find one turret, potentially even a few plates on the second tower too. That is worth it. If they lost players in that fight, they would have lost so much more than just a Herald. And here they make an even trade. They pick up one turret and also potentially a little bit of extra push. This is even fight. I got to say, no one won anything significant out of this.
Yeah, I would say that I think 16-bit got a little bit farther ahead out of that equation, but it's like it's not only arguable, but it's negligible, right?
I think it's like DR Esports reduced the damage they could have took from that entire trade-off. That in a way, that's how.
No. I'm agreeing with you, because it's like it could have been catastrophic if they tried to commit to that team fight, and instead they get like they're barely behind after that trade, or they took a barely bad trade. I think that it was definitely the right call to make, and we've seen teams in the past definitely make the wrong call in the situation and think, oh my god, I can't give the way a Riptail. That's an objective, and then they just run in there and completely die. So I can respect DR Esports backing out there. Almost certainly the right decision.
Yeah, that sounds like my solo queue teammates are just like, oh, Drake, they're fighting. We need to fight. But sometimes it doesn't make sense to just let it go, as said in Frozen. Otherwise, with that said, they're going to be going now for the fight on top of this Darius, and he's going to be once again stranded away from his teammates and having no chance whatsoever to recover in full health, as now mid lane going to be pretty much pummeled down. That's going to be two plates going down. They will be able to save it, luckily enough, but though Jhin maybe going to go for the root, will not go for it just yet. But this turret is on the brink of extinction.
I'm surprised Jhin took the safe route there. I mean, he had 4 people rotating with him. I feel like he could have gone for the more aggressive in front of the turret. What do you think?
They were too far away. I think there's okay. He just kept it for himself. Even if he did get the route, I don't think his team could have been able to do anything. So, and also I think the main point of that moment was to keep them busy, because Zed was trying to split push once again in top lane. And I gotta say, this Zed is everywhere. He is split pushing side lanes every single time. He was initially started mid lane, but now is he mid lane anymore?
No.
He's mid. No, he's not.
I think what we're seeing here is a 1-3-1, right? We have the Camille and the Zed split pushing, and then we have just like a 3-man roaming force with the Jhin, the Braum, and the Gragas. So yeah, I think they're just gonna try to win in a macro fashion, and that's why we don't see many kills yet.
Here it is. The fight's going to be coming on through. Redemption trying to get a little bit of extra heal for the teammates, even though that fight was still in the early days, so not going to be that useful at the end of the day. Now the fight's coming on through. Darius going to be put extremely low. Might go down eventually. Jin still full HP, dashing out an insane amount of damage. The kill shall indeed come as well, as Camille does go down at the end of that fight, I believe, and that was indeed the case. Curtain call coming out from Jin. Not going to be doing too much. Gets a nice snipe at the end of the day. There are a few extra bullets coming on through. But unfortunately, they're now under tower. He does get knocked up under tower himself. He's put extremely low. This might be a good re-engage opportunity, but this is a fight I would say 16-bit and DR Esports should try and give up on instantly. And indeed, the Herald also gets shut down, so they were just not able to make full usage of that objective. And that is going to be, I would call it an even fight. Like, nobody really came out on top. Nothing insane happened after this.
Yeah, a couple more kills over to the side of DR. I would say that's a bad sign here for 16-bit, however, because you saw Zed put his entire combo onto the Darius, and he kind of just he had a couple hit points left, and Jin had to kind of chase him through a bunch of enemies in order to get to him. It was just a really hard fight, especially for the Jin, and still they came up with a kill or more in that fight. So I feel like the execution needs to be better for 16-bit here because they're not getting the damage that they need.
Yeah, here it is. They're going to have 16-bit trying to leash away that Drake for themselves, as they are just retreating away. I mean, Zed's in top lane, so I think that was definitely a smart play. But they're like, you know what? Drake, who likes Drake? We're just going to push mid lane. Hell yeah, that's one turret. They might even crack the inhib turret right now because they're all doing Drake, and they're like, yes, we're 100% going to go for the Drake position. Gets in call coming out from the Jin. Unfortunately, the position makes it a little bit tricky for him. He's going to get ulted away by the Orianna, canceling the ultimate and forcing him to use some resources to escape from it. And they do pick up 2 turrets for fake Drake call, while Gragas is still taking a Drake, and they have Zed also split pushing away, so they cannot defend it. 16 bits. That was huge.
What just happened? What is going on?
You want Drake? I take 2 turrets mid. We good? Even trade? Yes, yes. Thank you.
What is this clown PS of a game? So 16-bit they just go mid, and DR is like, we call your bluff, and they're like, we're not bluffing. What are you talking about?
We can end game right now if you want. Okay.
That's okay. You can take our inhibitor. We're gonna take this dragon. Not an elder dragon.
You take dragon. We take Nexus. Eh? Good trade.
That was curious shot calling there from TR. Not really sure why.
I mean, they saw Zed was like also on the Baron, like. Dude, they're so spread. One, they cannot take the fight on Drake. And even if we push mid, like, they're going to be taking Drake because that was their main focus. And we saw that Gragas, and I believe he's even, like, their support, Brawl was just staking around the area, and they could not defend it. They could do nothing.
The hilarious thing was, like, they just rotated straight from the dragon to mid, and mid's, like, right next to the dragon, right? They're just like, we're going to go this way. I don't know. I can't get over it.
That was a really funny one, though. Curtain call once again from the Jin, trying to get some damage. He is pretty low, but no one is really close enough from him to threaten his position whatsoever. DR Esports, still, they need to find these mid turrets. If they don't do it, they're always going to get bullied. They cannot go further than the river. Otherwise, if they do, they're just going to be in enemy territory, and they're going to be pummeled down to pieces. So here, they still got some really good fight, but now you know the enemy team is in a position, in a scenario where they cannot fight back. They're extremely low. They use a lot of resources to escape that fight unscathed. Now, push this wave, pick up the first mid lane turret. If you don't do so, they're always going to be at a disadvantage taking fights. They need to get these turrets under control ASAP. If they don't, it's just going to be 16-bit just playing with their food and closing off the game eventually as time goes on.
You know, I think this is kind of an experimental game for DR. I'm just going to be honest here. Like, normally they've been really good about picking team comps that are geared towards fighting, and they're like, let's try this 1-3-1 thing and see how it works out. We're already, secure for the playoffs. We're already, advancing there. So let's just try to go do this 1-3-1 thing that people are trying. The cool thing, the cool new trend is do this 1-3-1 and have the split push between the Camille and the Zed. And honestly, it's not working out too well for them. They're not doing so hot. Like you mentioned, yeah, they're split pushing, but they're not getting the all important mid turrets. So it's not really working out in their favor.
They got 2 turrets in the Baron lane and 1 turret in the Drake lane, which sure, like 2 turrets in the Baron lane is still really strong, but like unless you get the inhib turrets, like those split pushes are basically rendered almost useless because you got no access. And what really locks them down even most, I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like a broken record once again, but they have not got the first mid lane turret. They cannot roam freely at all, as Orianna's going to be moving around, going to be very close to some of her teammates, so she should be safe. But still, Zed is in bot lane currently, taking a 1v1 versus Darius, as now Lee Sin is like, how's it going, boy? I'm going to be forcing out the flash away from that Jin because they're just so split away from each other, and they just not having fun time. Like, what can they do? hear nothing, and that should be normally a Baron pickup as they are ready as a 4-man squad.
I don't think I've ever seen a map formation like this, with like all three mid turrets on one side and none on the other side, and the other ones are pushed in, but like it's like a fork going into like a bull, or it's like so weird.
Wait, a fork going in
because there's like a fork on the red side, or like a spoon. It's basically sticking out, maybe like a knife, kind of like a knife with a hilt. And it's going in, and like the blue side is like a bull, right? They have most.
I don't understand because I eat with my hands anyways. That's why I'm a disgusting human being. So that's what I do. Spoon, forks, what are those? I don't know. I eat on the floor. With that said,
I try to keep it. I try to keep it, PC. I didn't want to go and get anything too adult.
I'm just memeing it. Don't worry about it. It's cool. I am always on Reddit and also investing in Dogecoins. Apparently, that's what I'm doing recently. With that said, we're going to be looking at to the Drake, and Drake is going to be a nice pickup potentially for them, as Camille's trying to do it solo, which I don't know. Camille, what are you doing? We're doing homie. You might want to try and escape from that one. Zed, once again, just nowhere to be seen. He cannot assist his teammates in that fight, and this will normally be a 4v4 if the fight does indeed break out, as I don't know what Camille is doing. I am surprised. Like, D2, I'd love to know, like, what do you think of the Camille? Because I have no idea what she was planning.
Honestly, they're just doing the split thing, right? And so the way you do the 1-3-1 split is anytime the opponent tries to take some sort of objective, you just distract. You poke a little bit, maybe pull the Drake to the side. So they're trying to do that. The only problem is that you can't really distract because you only have 2 to distract with. Because you have Jin, who suddenly has to be like a third split pusher because he's defending mid all day, and it's going poorly here. That said, though, they are heading kills. They do have Jin getting pretty beefy here at 13k gold, so he's gonna be pretty strong going forward. Maybe they can take a team fight, which is literally the opposite of what they've been trying to do the entire time. But maybe it'll work out.
I think the one thing the 16-bit have been doing really good, they understood the threat of this Zed that's continuously going to try and split push and create opportunities on side lanes. And they just been like, okay, whenever he's split pushing, Darius, you go take care of him. Because like Darius can easily 1v1 down this Zed because it's not too much of an issue for him. Like even if he's able to move away, he's going to get that bleeding. He's going to get some significant damage out there. And he is rather tanky on his own as a bruiser. So he's looking really good. Lee Sin, trying to get a little bit of information, try and fake out also a Baron push potentially, as Zed is going to once again split push down in the Drake lane. This guy he just hates team fights. He's just like, team fight? Nah, homie. Split push. Yeah, that's my thing.
The ironic part is with all the split pushing going on, the Zed and the Jin have so much gold right now. I think the only one who has more might be the Misfortune, which obviously is a problem. But if they do actually take a team fight at any point, fools might get deleted here.
Yeah. That is going to be an interesting one, though. Going to be having Darius in the bot lane, though. He's taking a fight unaware that around the corner, there's actually going to be Camille. The flank comes on through. Zed is looking pretty lively. And now it's a 1v2. Darius is like, maybe not going to be the fight I was looking for. Curtain Call going to be coming out once again. Don't use the Curtain Call. They're still full HP. It makes no sense. It does not help out. Use it as a way to finish off fights, not engage them. As now the fight's going on through. They got a kill. I want to see them force out this mid lane turret. Once again, I'm going to sound like a broken record for the 5th time in a row, but they got a kill. They got Darius. This is 5v4. You got to take an objective. They're going for Baron. Sure, that's good, but I still think the mid turret would have been so much more valuable at the end of the day.
Yeah, they are going for this Baron. The thing is they have Camille. They have Camille and Zed split off. Oh my god, that ult.
3-man ultimate coming on through from the Orion. Now they're going to be pushing away. And they can't do Baron. They took a fight, but Zed is still split pushing, actually. Going to have Curtain Call to make sure they can't go back to base to stop the Zed from pushing. This is actually a good Curtain Call coming out from this Jin. And now there's a teleport happening into the bot lane position. DR potentially trying to finish off the game, but Darius like, nah. Get it back over here. You're not going to finish the game right now. Now Jin is taking a 1v1. Mid is getting pushed through Lee Sin. What is happening? Everyone's trying to go for the base rush, but Lee Sin is way too low HP. Can't do anything about this. He's going to get procced on the GA. Bullet time coming on through, so from the Misfortune, the root will come on through. What is that? What is this?
Have you ever seen a double backdoor? I don't think I've ever seen both teams. No, but not with both teams, right? Usually when it's a base trade or base rush, right? Both teams are like together, or it's like 4v1 and a 4v1 on the other side. I've never seen like 2 people from each side trying to go for a backdoor, but then there's people on the map as well. That's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And now they're trying to do a Baron. Now they're trying to do the Baron, but they're just not healthy enough to do a Baron. Jin's on the backside, though, doesn't have a curtain call. Up in now 3 seconds. Might be able to do something in those finishing moments. And Camille joins up the fight. Nice stun coming out from the Brawl. Also, that's going to be a double frag going away of the Camille. Curtain call to try and maybe find it up, but the flash comes on through. And now, please, push mid lane. Do something. I'm getting pissed off right now.
Now you take the Baron in this situation. I don't necessarily disagree though, because there's 4 dead. If you start pushing mid, maybe you get a couple turrets, but I think Baron just wins the game. So I think it's fine. They got the Baron. They don't really. I think they just are. This is going to be the first game in history where they win without killing a single mid turret.
I mean. Side lane turrets, yeah, dude. Like Zed has been enabling this. Like this has been set up by Zed the entire time. That I did not think it would be this rewarding, but Zed just by always pushing his side lane has been actually being able to create an opportunity. Like because if they win the next fight, now they got like if they win the next fight and they just push the bot lane turret with the Baron buff, like they might be able to actually close off the game without getting even one plate of mid turret. Like not even one plate. What?
Look at Red's turrets. They lost their bottom inhibitor, and their top is only a sliver of health, and they have all their mids. This is hilarious.
Big fight coming on through, though. Unfortunately for DI Esports, they are extremely split away from each other, though. Jin's going to be slowly joining up the fray. Ultimate from Camille going to be able to try and catch out of position at one character. It's going to be the Darius Beast. Guys, focus his eyes, mindset onto this Jin, but unfortunately for him, Jin's going to be in such a good position. Curtain call comes on through. That's one. That's the second bullet. He snipes it. He's on a good glow. Oh my god. I do not know what I'm saying anymore because this game is just absolutely insane. A big wave in bot lane is currently also pushing onto the enemy base. If they can just keep them at bay, they might be able to actually breach this one through. And he's going for it. You still got 3 enemies alive. You're going for it?
Okay, it's a Baron buff. Look at these siege minions. They're massive.
What?
The super look how massive they are.
This is not a minion wave. This is an army. God damn, they're just going to push it into the wave, going into the Nexus and leave it. Oh, come on, for the memes.
Do it. The Winions. This would be the ultimate Winions game if they finished that way. Going against 3 champions on the opposing side. Whoa. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
This is my first time casting Wild Rift. It's interesting.
Oh, yeah, these games don't happen like this usually. I just love the curtain call. The curtain call getting like the pinky toe of Darius, by the way. Just barely catch.
Oh, my only weakness.
I'm dead. It's Achilles toe. Okay. As far as serious analysis is concerned. So when DR Esports won the fight 2 fights ago, right? It's because all of 16-bit was split off, right? And because they had really good individual, snipe capabilities, they were just picking off one by one.
Camille's just she actually picked.
Oh, she just killed the inhibitor.
She just died like, okay, easy turret pickup, which makes sense. Camille's can easily do that. But now that they got the side turrets, all they need to do really is win a fight, like for both sides, because mid lane's been cracked on open by the side of 16-bit. The side lanes are both cracked on open when it comes down to it for the side of DI Esports. Whoever wins the next fight will win the game. And now they're going to try and force out Drake, which makes sense. But the TP coming on through from the Camille to join up the fight and take it 5v5. The Baron, the Drake's going to be going pretty low, going to get picked up by the Lee Sin. Unfortunately, Jin's going to get absolutely battered initially in that fight. Redemption comes on through to get some heals on top of 16-bit, and 16-bit are coming out on top. We got the Brawl out of commission. We also lost ourselves, unfortunately, the Jin. And they did pick up the Misfortune, which Misfortune to try and destroy the Nexus was going to be the main focus. But Camille is going for it with a big wave in bots.
Okay, who's defending and who's... They are going to commit. Wait, someone needs to defend, though. Wait, who's defending and who's going for it?
Gragas defending, he's got an ultimate, but no, he just can't do anything here, but they're going to focus on both sides. It's going to be a base rush, but unfortunately, that will be it. 16-bit will be taking game number 2. We shall be going to a 3rd game, and as Dave likes, he's going to get some extra content, ladies and gentlemen, but what a game indeed.